Hello, everyone. My name is Laura. I'm a teacher trainer here in Turkey, working for Cambridge University Press. I've probably met quite a few of you from coming to your schools and delivering training, so hello again. And those of you who don't know me, very nice to meet you. We sent out a survey last week to try and find out some of your needs and your feelings about the changes you've had to make over the last few weeks. So thank you very much to everyone who responded. It's been enormously helpful. What we're going to do today is look at some of those results and some of your comments and questions, and then we're going to look at how that's helping us to make more supporting materials such as videos and webinars, etc. And then I'll talk you through also how you can help us with this ongoing project in the future. So let's make a start. So as you can see here, we asked you which grades you were teaching, and although it's primarily primary and secondary, we have a good number of high school teachers as well as a number of kindergarten teachers. So it's clear that we need to support all of you. Very, very happy to see that all of you, most of you are pretty comfortable using the Cambridge digital platforms. So for those of you who aren't, feel free to drop us an email or get in touch, and we can try and help to get you feeling even more comfortable with those. As you can see here, almost 80% of you didn't have online teaching experience prior to the current situation. Well, the good news is at the end of this, you'll all have extensive online teaching experience, so that's a good thing. But one thing this has shown us is that you do need a little bit of support in making that transition. We've already put together a training session to help you with this. There's been a lot of material coming from the UK, which we've shared with you in order to make that transition. But we've put this together. In fact, my colleague Sharon has put together an excellent training. It's very short and very to the point, very clear, very user-friendly. And I have to say, it's actually helped me with my Zoom experience, let's say, because I was a complete novice to it as well. So this should be up on the site, and you should get the link for that very, very soon if you don't already have it. I would urge you all to dip into that. It goes beyond the technical aspects into looking at how teachers can manage their classes a little bit when things maybe go wrong. Both of us, Sharon and I, have extensive teaching experience as well, so we understand the sort of things that you might experience that maybe the tech people don't. So, as I said, have a look at that video. It's going to be very useful. Okay, great to see that generally you're managing your online classes pretty well. Most of you are having very few problems. And I think I put down, this response to your very positive attitude. This is something that really shone through in the vast majority of your responses. Whatever challenges you're having, you're really, giving it a good go, and you've got a very, very optimistic and positive outlook. So that's absolutely fantastic to hear. Okay, so engaging students online, we thought this might be a bit of an issue, and it's great to see that many of you are finding it, okay. But although some of you are clearly having some difficulties, and as you know, engaging your students in the classroom anyway is always a bit of an issue. That's something we do a lot of training on anyway. So even though, those of you who are not really having that many problems, hopefully you'll get a few tips when we provide these training materials. And one thing I have noticed, so the results that I compiled here I looked at these results on Friday, what would that be, the 10th. We've actually had some responses since then that are not incorporated into this, but the overall picture is pretty much the same. But one thing I did notice, we started getting in responses very, very early on in the week. So some of you responded immediately. And that green line, as the week went on, grew, which means those of you who answered later are finding it easier as you go along, I think. So if we sent the same survey out next week, I would probably see slightly different results here. I think I'd see a much bigger green line. This shows us that you're managing to do this and get used to it, and beginning to find ways to engage your students on your own. Of course, we are going to be here to give you support to do that more quickly. Okay, collaboration, as we know, is very, very important to learning. And again, it's something we do a lot of in-school training with. This seemed to be slightly more problematic. Okay, again, quite a few of you, like, not so many problems, or it's very manageable, but there are enough of you there, I think, to, let's have a look. I think we've got, yes, there we have it. We can see the breakdown here. That comes to what, 54, almost 54% of you at this stage. So as of Friday, we're finding it's, problematic to some extent or to quite a large extent. So the good news is that this helped us to decide the order of the things we're going to put together for you. So the thing we're going to be working on next week are collaboration videos, collaboration webinar videos, a little bit like this one. I'll be putting together one that looks at the basic methodology of collaboration, collaboration activities, the underlying pedagogy, psychology of students, etc. Sharon will then do the second part, which will be specifically for doing collaborative activities online. So we'll let you know when those are released, but we're aiming to do it for about this time next week. This is something we suspected might be the case. When you're sitting in front of a computer, it's very different from being in the classroom. So we thought, all right, you're sitting down, a lot of people think, oh, that'll be easy. But in fact, it can often be more exhausting because you are on all the time. And this can often result in a lot higher levels of teacher talk time and less student talk time. So this is sort of connected to the previous questions as well. So by dealing with collaboration and student engagement, then perhaps this might be helped a little bit, but it's something we're going to be working on in the very near future, ways to take yourself away from the online lesson and get your students more engaged and more active, because you will burn out very quickly. So this is, like I said, something that we're going to be working on next after the collaboration webinars. You can see the breakdown there. That's, if we look at much more and a bit more in total, who's the maths teacher? Let's do the maths. It's 70, nearly 75% of you. Okay. Now, again, as you get more experience in this, I would expect that to go down naturally, gradually, but we're here to help you, rectify that issue a lot more quickly. Okay, so I asked you about your feelings because it's a strange time for all of us, and yes, we can see there that nearly 70% of you are feeling stressed. 60% worried, not necessarily about the lessons. There are lots of other worries. Some of you have children at home, you're trying to work, they've got their lessons, you're worried about the future of the planet, of the virus, of all sorts of things are going on. There's a lot to deal with at the moment. Many of you are feeling overwhelmed, and some of you are feeling confused, whether again that's to do with technical issues or teaching issues or other issues. It doesn't matter. That's still 50% of you are feeling that way. We want to bring that down, obviously. Many of you are feeling tired, but great to see that many of you are also feeling motivated. I saw that in a lot of the comments. Lots of you are feeling interested. If we look at the one with the smallest response, not many of you are feeling bored. Okay, that might be because you're overworked and overwhelmed, but at least you're not bored, so that's a positive. I asked you also to add any other feelings. Here were some of the ones that we had. Okay, so again, a mixture of the negative and the neutral and the positive. Okay, so lost and weird, yes, is one of the first responses we got. So hopefully the person that wrote that at the beginning of last week, by the end of last week, perhaps we're not feeling quite so lost and not so weird. Lots of nice positive ones there. Energetic, improving. This was a response we got towards the end of last week. So that's incredibly positive. Amazing. I mean, that's great. Someone's really, really feeling good about this whole thing. Desperate, not so good. So yes, we are here to help. And strong and determined. I think that was a really nice response. Okay, this is a comment I cut and paste. Whoever wrote this comment, thank you very much. I've used it. I hope I have your permission, but I really liked it because I think it shows the shift. You know, at the beginning, everything was an enigma, but in time now, we are getting more relaxed and calm. And that will increase. You will become more and more relaxed and more calm as time goes on. There's another quote I've stolen here as well. So thank you to this person who I was going through waves of emotions, but I definitely enjoy learning about this new classroom style. And I think that gave us great insight into the fact that, yeah, this, you know, we've been dumped in the deep end. None of us chose this situation, but it is an opportunity to learn. And we're teachers, we love learning, we're learning all the time. So when we're giving opportunities like this, let's grab them. Let's try and take the positive as much as we can. So the challenges section, what I did was I collated these and put them into 5 categories in order to try and help us work out the ways that you most wanted our help. Okay, and again, these are results as of the end of Friday of last week. So the first category I put into health, well-being, and personal concerns, and 22 of you responded that was a challenge. Technological challenges, that's including hardware, software, internet connections, etc., and also the transition to online teaching. 36 people said that was a concern. Planning and materials, so that might be lesson planning, it might be planning with the technology, online materials, offline materials, etc., etc. 34 people said that was a challenge. Classroom management, this was the big one. Okay, now classroom management is always a challenge. So classroom management, including motivation, engagement, group work, pair work. We looked at the collaboration and student engagement. 66 people responded that was a challenge. So obviously this is where we're coming in, and this is where we're going to start with helping you. And that's great, because that's my job. That's what we do. That's what we do when we come to your school's training. So this is very much our comfort zone. The online aspect, not so much. I'm still learning, but we hope that we're going to be able to help you significantly with this. Now, this was interesting. Parent issues. Only 12 people said this was a challenge as of Friday. Yes, that looks like it's a lower number and it's not that important, but those comments were quite incisive, and it's clear that it is still an issue. And hopefully as parents get used to this new way of learning and teaching, then that might become less of an issue, but it's certainly something we're taking into consideration. Cambridge have already put together a couple of parents' videos that they've put on YouTube. They will have shared the link with the parents or with the schools. So if you do want to use those videos, let us know and we can send you the link for that, or let your educational consultant know. They can send you the link for those as well. But we're also taking this into consideration with this program. 7 people said they had no challenges as of Friday. I think responses that have come in after Friday, that will probably put that up a little bit. So fantastic. But for those of you who don't have a challenge, oh, please don't switch off now. I'd love you to stay and join us, because we'd love your input. We want to know what the magic is. What are your secrets? Okay. Perhaps you're very, very used to online training and teaching. Perhaps you're a very quick learner. But whatever it is, please share your secrets with us. We could certainly use them. This was a nice quote, and I've split it into 2. Thank you again to the person that wrote this. This is the second part there. Okay. All right. This is important to think about the students. You know, I started to get accustomed to it, but so did the students. That's very important. That's great. And kids are fast learners. They're faster than we are. So they're going to get used to it very, very quickly. And this is great. You know, that a lot of you are worried about them not being able to learn as much English language as usual, or get through the materials as quickly as usual. But think about the things that they are learning, those life skills that they're learning, digital learning. They're learning how to be resilient. They're learning how to learn on their own or interact with their peers, you know, virtually. So they're learning an awful lot, and that's fantastic. This is something as well. Sitting all the time is really tough. As teachers, we're moving around the classroom. And a lot of you mentioned this last bit. being away from the students. A lot of you said things like, I don't get to see their faces. Some of you who teach primary or kindergarten are like, I don't get to hug them. And that's very important. And I think that was really eye-opening, because it is hard when we're not, near our students. So we have to find other ways to connect with them. So that's going to also play a big part in the support we're going to give you. We're going to find ways that you can connect with your students. We asked you for suggestions. We got lots of them. So here are a few samples that sort of cover the range of things we were asked and my response to them. So more online trainings. Well, yes, this is what we're doing now. This is the beginning here. That's certainly what we plan to do. We're planning on releasing 1 or 2 online webinar trainings per week, plus some support videos for you. That might change as it goes along. We might be able to produce more, but certainly at least 1 or 2 online video webinars per week. So it'd be great to attend more webinars. There we go, about teaching online techniques, tips, etc. This is where we're starting. Okay, this was one of the examples of requests for collaboration, suggestions and tips. So this is what we're going to be working on for you for next week. Okay, love this. Observing teachers online. Okay, great. This is up to you guys. I think it would be a fantastic idea if you would be able to record yourselves, not a whole lesson, but if you've got an activity or a technique or a game or a strategy that works really well for you, if you wanted to record just that section of a lesson and share it with your peers around Turkey via us, we'd be delighted. Now, obviously, if you're recording a live lesson, you would need to then get permission from the students and from the parents. So if you can manage that and your school says it's okay, great, please share. Don't share without asking permission. If you would like to share an activity, but you're not able to get the permission, or your school says that's not a great idea, what you could possibly do then is what we do when we come into your schools, is to do a demo. So we use the teachers, and the teachers pretend to be the students, and I pretend to be the teacher. You can do the same thing. Get a couple of your colleagues online, set up a replica class, do a little demo activity that you've already used with your students, so that we can share it with the rest of the teachers. So if you're interested in doing that, please drop me a line, get in touch, and we'll find a way to help you share that. The other thing was this, asking for more tips from other teachers. Now, in the survey, we said, did you have any advice? We got lots and lots of advice. And so what we're going to do with this is every Friday, I think we're going to put together a little short video of me going through your responses to a survey we're going to send out weekly. So the end of this week, we're going to send you out a mini survey, 2 or 3 questions regarding your tips, your advice, something that worked, etc., or a question you have, okay? And then we'll do a little surgery. I'll read those out to you all, and then anyone that's got answers to these questions, or if we want to give advice, I can read the advice out. I'll share it with all the teachers. And we'd like to do that weekly. The survey will take you 2 minutes to fill in. You know sort of what the questions will be, what worked well for you, what tip do you have, what advice do you have, or what question do you have. Send it out every week. We'll get your responses, and I'll share it with everybody at the end of the week. Okay. This was just another comment, actually, and some advice, and I think it's lovely, because the point of it is to see the bigger picture. I'm going to give you just a minute to read through that. Okay, education is important. It's our jobs. It's very, very important. But well-being comes first. The physical and mental health of you and of your students is the most important thing. So bear that in mind. And also what I said before, think about all the other stuff they're learning. So if it's not working so well, don't beat yourself up. They're still learning. We're all doing our best. It's all we can do. But make sure we're well. Make sure we're fit mentally and physically. And then we will be able to learn, and we will be able to teach. So here are some pieces of advice we've already received. Thank you very much. There were some brilliant things here. Very, very positive. This is lovely. Thank you to who wrote that. That's true. It's very, very easy to get bogged down in all the negative stuff, but there is joy, there is power, and look at what you've done so far. Be proud of that. Some practical advice here. So if anyone's got any examples of short videos they've used or games they've used, please feel free to share them. We tell this to our students all the time. It's fine to make mistakes. In fact, you have to make mistakes in order to learn. That applies to you too. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's going to happen. You have no idea how long it's taken me to put this video together. I made tons of mistakes, and I've made a few mistakes while I'm doing this video. But you know what? It'll be better next time. There we go. We talk about opportunities. It is a perfect opportunity for you to learn and equip yourselves with these technologies, and it's a fantastic opportunity for your students. It gets easier. I think you'll find it is getting easier. I think you'll all be nodding your heads. And those of you who are not nodding your heads, I hope you will be by the end of next week. Optional activities, we've all got them. We use them in the classroom. That activity you have up your sleeve in case you have extra time, in case you decide to do something different when things don't go according to plan. Now, when you're teaching online, you're going to have a few technical issues, internet issues, connection issues, management issues, stuff going on behind you. You might have heard a noise just a little while ago. I've locked myself in the kitchen because I've got a number of cats. And one of the cats woke up and decided it wanted to come in the kitchen and was scratching at the door. Well, I'm not going to stop the whole thing. I'm just thinking that's just a bit of background noise. Sometimes things get in the way and we need an extra activity. Our video webinar that Sharon put together that I mentioned earlier, she deals with this. That's one of the areas she's looking at, and she has a number of different activities that you can feel free to share. So that's a good place to start. Of course, the best resource is always other teachers. So again, in our weekly get-togethers, in our weekly catch-ups, share those extra activities with us and I'll pass them on to the teachers. Okay, there we go. Another one, be creative. Creativity is very important, one of the cornerstones of 21st century skills. So, you know, don't think you have to go, you know, like in a certain direction. Play around with it. Try new things out. Why not? Okay, think outside the box and keep that personal connection with your students. That's more important than doing the next activity in the book. If it's not working, they're not engaged, do something you know that will work. And if they don't do that exercise, it's not the end of the world. And this is lovely. Yeah. Think about you know, all of you have said how much you're worried about your students. So less stress or no stress, if possible. More of a positive attitude. You be the role model in that. And minimum expectations. Absolutely. Keep your expectations for them to an absolute minimum. But you know what? I think they're going to do all right. And so are you. I love this bit of philosophy. This too shall pass. That's lovely. And it will. It will. Here's a question. Okay, so this is to get you all started. Think about this. Someone wants some help. So maybe next week in our little mini survey, someone can answer this question to help this teacher out. Trying to make online quizzes. I don't know where to start, how to do it. I know there are a lot of you out there that do. So please share that with us. Thank you. All right, so coming soon. This is the video I mentioned that Sharon will be doing, troubleshooting your online teaching. As I said, she also has activities in there as well as the tech advice. I'm going to be delivering a storytelling webinar, okay? That's not just for kindergarten and primary teachers. It's going to be looking at storytelling with our middle school and with our high school as well. This will be a perfect opportunity for you to get some downtime. A lot of you have already said you've been using stories, so let's look at how we can start using the stories in an online way. To supplement that, we're going to be sharing short story videos with you. Sharon and I have already put a couple together. Again, from kindergarten all the way through up to high school, we'll have short story videos that you can use as a standalone. You can incorporate it into the lesson with activities. And this could be a way of you finding a little downtime by playing a short story for them that will have some visuals, that'll have pages from the book. If it's with high school, it might just be a video of me reading the story, but it gives you a couple of minutes to yourself to organize other things so that you're not on all the time. We're going to upload, I think, 2 next week. Our aim is to upload 2 short stories every week. As we get better with the technology, we might be able to do a few more than that. So we will keep you posted. Okay. Sharon's also putting together a frequently asked questions video about Zoom to supplement her online teaching webinar. Again, this is going to go out this week, I believe. So again, we'll keep you informed when you can and send you the link when that's ready. Okay, the following week, so this is what we're working on this week to come out the following week. As I mentioned, there's going to be 2 collaboration video webinars. So one with the underlying methodology, the basics of it that I'll be doing, and then one that's more specifically related to online classes with Sharon. That'll be followed by more story videos. And then I'll send out the weekly mini survey. I think that will go out on Thursday or Friday. We'll let you know. Very, very short. We'll only have a couple of days to turn it around and give you the results. So we'll let you know as soon as that's gone out. We'll share that with you all as we did the first one. And then at the end of the week, we'll do a catch-up video that looks at the results of the survey, shares the advice, etc., as I mentioned. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you so much. Again, thank you to everyone that responded. Keep your chin up and carry on. You're doing a great job. You are doing a fantastic job. It's great to hear from you. Let's keep this connection. Look out for the videos and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.